Hello and welcome back to Undefeated. We'll be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after having a semi-successful conversation with Redline, where he was trying to sort of play a game with you, to try to cheer you up, I guess, or to try to, mend fences because he thinks that Zander is angry at him for something. But it didn't go so well. I mean, it kind of went a little better when Xander sort of took an interest in his family's pictures, and Redline was like showing Xander all of like the little pictures of when they would go out and stuff like that. But it also showed that Redline is apparently sort of like that one spare kid that they have. So yeah. Also, it kind of showed that Xander's own image of how a family functions is very different from how it actually functions. Like it showed Redline's family being all nice and together and doing all that stuff, despite the fact that Redline is still sort of like the spare kid. And the fact that Redline has a whole bunch of pictures of his family was a little bit weird to Xander because his own family is not like that apparently. So for him to have a whole bunch of pictures of, like, I guess his mom and dad would be a little weird for him. Or at least seems weird. But yeah. I wonder why. I wonder if it'll be discussed in this video. Anyways, but yeah, so let's just jump right into it. Well, I guess I get to talk to everyone then, or do everything. I can't hang out with Redline anymore. They probably won't let me in the gym. Although, I wonder if you could do this and then do this. And then just watch Redline. Actually, if I can't fight or train, I can at least watch people train, right? Drayden would probably not be too happy with that, but it's not like I'm trying to pull a fast one on him. Bucky knows that I am not allowed to train, according to Drayden, but maybe he can let me just hang out and watch. The closest that I can get to actually training is to keep my mind sharp, and watch other people train could at least help with that. Theoretically, at least. Let's go have a chat with Bucky. I climb down the first floor towards the gyms. The halls have been getting more familiar to me these days. I guess that's what happens after a month of being locked underground. I say that as if it's against my own will. I wanted to come down here. I've been wanting to come down here for a while. Was just hoping for better circumstances. The smell of the gyms sort of lingers around the first floor. You can smell it coming a mile away. Nothing potent, of course, but it's definitely noticeable whenever I step into the hallways. The sound, too, but there's always some sort of chatter echoing these halls. Even at quiet times, there's a rowdy guy or two or 12 stepping out of a gym room. The only genuine silence is at night, or in our room whenever Redline is out. It's actually kind of eerie when it does happen, like it's not supposed to be there. It only gets louder as I approach one of the gym rooms. I can hear Bucky yell out a command, followed by a chorus of leather slamming into training pads. More yelling, more pads. He's got a really loud voice, or at least, it carries nicely. I never once had trouble hearing him over the rest of the noise in the gym. Blech. I made it to the door, but there's still some butterflies in my stomach. He probably won't be happy to hear that I've been effectively banned from working out for a bit. Maybe I should turn back, go do something else with my time. Hey, Xander! The butterflies stir and my head snaps through the window into the gym. Bucky's standing inside, waving me in with a big smile on his face. There's no real way out of this now, so I step inside. There's about 12 guys in here, each of them a little bigger than me. Half of them are holding hefty training pads, while the other half are practicing their techniques on them. Bucky's leaning against a small countertop that runs alongside the entrance to the place, watching on with arms folded over his chest. His head turns to see me as I come around, standing next to him. Xander, how's it going? You here to do a bit of sparring? He seems excited. I thought Drayden already told him I couldn't. As tempting as the offer to punch someone is, I feel like the wrath of a doctor is something that I don't really want to face again. I shake my head at Bucky. No, sir. Drayden's got me off for a week. I thought he told you. Bucky nods and grins. Ah, that was a test. Good to see that you're an honest fella. Not that I doubted you, of course. Yep, a good honest kid, Zander. Always speaks his mind and tells people what he's feeling. That aggressive head rubbing really drives in his point. I feel weird batting away the coach's hand, so I just let him keep ruffling my hair. After a moment, he stops and chuckles. Or maybe not. How'd that make you feel? Loved it. I lied, reaching up to smooth my hair down a bit. We'll work on it. What brings you by? I'm not sure, actually. I can't really exercise right. Did I just need some company? Well, once you've done coming up with an excuse to talk to me, you can be my assistant coach for the day. How's that sound? Before I can protest, a slightly too big baseball cap gets slapped onto my head. I lift it off and take a look at the front. It says, Ass Coach. Came back from the shop with a typo. Couldn't you return it? Return it? I had to steal this one before they sent the whole box back. Listen up. Fuck, he's loud. Everyone turns their attention to us. Zander here is gonna be our assistant coach today. Treat him the same. He stops and looks down at me. You gotta put that hat on, Zander. I know better than to disobey my coach, and he's not exactly the type to budge on his weird rules. I slip it on even though it doesn't fit perfectly over my little antler nubs. Treat him the same as you would me. But no random gut shots. Doctor's orders. He pats my shoulder. Bucky has them start off with some cardio drills and leans back against the countertop. People take random shots at your gut? If they're brave or stupid, you should have seen Red before you showed up. Little Spitfire couldn't keep his paws off of me. It's a miracle I didn't end up starting a fight. Yeah, I can relate. Bucky laughs at that. What? Has he started anything with you? Not exactly. Not unless you count that one punch on the first day of class. Nah, that wasn't a fight. Consider that, a work-mandated beatdown. I hope it didn't get too far. I shrug. It's nothing I haven't experienced before. My old gym did something like that, although nobody there was... strong? He flashes a cheesy grin. I wouldn't say that, but, group classes, they weren't exactly professional fighters. But even the rest of the guys in my class down there didn't really do anything, not until Redline stepped up to the plate. Stronger than he looks, eh? Should've warned you with that one. Red's got a drive. And the rest of the guys here don't? Touché. Not saying that they aren't also capable of kicking ass. Oops, hang on. Bucky moves out into the group, pulling one guy aside to correct his form. I guess I should probably do my job too. Which is easier said than done. These guys are all pretty experienced, it seems. Aside from one outliner, everyone's got their form down. Not sure what I was expecting. These guys are professionals. It's a bit strange to describe myself like that. A professional. I'm good at what I do, obviously, but suddenly gaining the title feels a bit jarring. Hard to believe a little over a month ago I was stocking shelves for a living, and now I'm considered one of the top fighters in the country. Okay, that might be going a bit too far. I'm 0 to 2 as a professional, so being a top fighter is really only because I'm in the league with the best fighters, and I'm not sure that even counts given my situation. And looking at the rest of these competitors, it's clear I'm in the big leagues now. They're all a full weight class above me, but some of them are moving faster than the guys in my weight. Scary stuff. Typically there's a trade-off between agility and strength depending on the weight of the fighter, but it's usually proportional to the same. Of course, Red and I can't hit as hard as Bruce, but we have much less weight that we need to move around in a fight, so we're much faster in comparison, and these middleweights Bucky is training are at the middle point for both speed and power. Oh, hey. This lizard guy next to me throws a jab, then a straight to his partner's pads. His legs lift up and rock into the other guy's side. The rat lets out a squeak, but keeps holding the pads up. Excuse me. I wave my hand, approaching a few feet to the side of them to catch his eye. He doesn't look at me, instead sending another jab to the pad, then a straight punch into the rat's face. Hey, hello? He scoffs and stops to look at me. The rat awkwardly steps back. What? You should be hitting the pads, not your partner. Okay. He turns back to the rat. Hands up. The rat sheepishly lifts his pads, and the lizard continues aiming a few blows to the partner's pads and throwing in an extra somewhere on the other guy's body. Do I just ignore it? I could ask Bucky for help, but I don't want to go tattling to the coach. I'm an assistant coach. I have the authority to stop him. I think. Excuse me. The lizard guy groans and turns around. What do you want? You're practicing. You need to stop hitting your opponent. This isn't even sparring. You're just... I know what I'm doing, thanks. Right, but... Alright, you got a problem, dude. He steps forward, bumping me with his chest. The training around us seems to have cleared some space, making way for his outburst. I'm just trying to... I'm not about to listen to some 0-2 loser to tell me how to train. The lizard steps forward and shoves me. I'm taken off guard, but I manage to brace myself and only stumble back a few steps. Ryan! Both of us nearly jump as Bucky's voice pierces the air. The lizard, Ryan, apparently darts his eyes to Bucky behind me. Laps! Now! He looks at Bucky, then down to me, then turns with a scoff before trotting out of the gym. Bucky approaches from behind and pats my shoulder. Double time, everyone. You alright, Zander? I'm fine, yeah. Are you sure? His thick hand grips my shoulder. It's incredible how his voice can go from terrifying to comforting in a matter of seconds. Yeah, honest. I'm a little shaken up, but it's... whatever. Bucky takes me to the back of the countertop, sighing as he leans against it. We've been having problems with that guy since day one, I swear. He's angry, abrasive, violent. Way too focused on trying to be manly, like he's trying to prove something to someone. Starting arguments was one thing, but now he's picking fights and getting physical with people. The other coaches sent him to me to try and get him in line, but I have no clue what to do. Bucky shakes his head, watching the rest of the guys exercise. And when he starts actually hitting people during practice, then everyone thinks that they can... God damn it! Hey, come on! The Roo steps away from the counter towards the group of boxers training. I can see one fighter near the back is going a bit too hard on his sparring partner. I'm glad Bucky's the one that has to deal with that. I've had to intervene a few times in the past, and it's not exactly my favorite thing to do. These guys are bigger than me, fueled up by testosterone and looking for a fight. I'm not interested in being on the receiving end of that when it's outside of my weight class. Hey, coach, can I ask you something? The rat fella from before grunts quietly, like he's not trying to call attention to himself. Was that meant for me? Or did he mean to call for Bucky? After a few seconds of Bucky yelling down another one of the more aggressive guys and not looking this way, I realize this is my problem to deal with. The rest of the class goes by without much of a hitch, thankfully. Bucky has the men run drills for a while longer, and even gives some tips on how to coach people better. He's owling double time as coach. Almost feels unfair to the rest of the fighters. I've already had a bit of experience coaching here and there back in my old classes. There's a lot less work to do here though, partially due to my injuries not letting me hold bags or participate in any drills. And these guys are professionals. I don't need to hover around to make sure forms are correct. I still do hover though, but there's a lot less correcting that needs to be done here. The one rad guy that called for me is currently on the receiving end of Bucky's newbie initiation right now. Apparently he just got in last week. Poor guy. I only had to deal with the lightweights punching me. This guy is decently well built, but I can tell that he's on the lighter end of the weight class. Still, he takes the rest of the fighters without too much of a problem. After they finish working the rat over, the rest of the fighters sort of disperse amongst themselves, but the new guy just sort of hobbles himself over to the countertop by myself and Bucky. Bucky the sadist has a big grin on his face. Good first class. The rat wheezes out a laugh. Those guys hit like a truck. I think I'm ready to go down a weight class. Bucky laughs. I think we could do something about that. You're already hovering near the weight. We'll get you settled in and see what we can do. Sounds good? As long as I don't have to do that again. Ow. He rubs his bruising midsection with a smile on his face. Oh yeah, you're, Zander, right? Assistant Coach Zander. I take the hat off and hand it to Bucky. I think it's just Zander now that the class is over. Right, yeah. Thanks for the help earlier. I didn't really know who to ask for help since Coach Bucky was busy. Some of these guys are fucking scary, dude. As if on cue, Ryan, the lizard man from earlier, stomps back into the gym. His gym bag is still leaning against the wall untouched. He's very sweaty and very angry. I swear his skin has almost turned red. He darts his eyes at me. Then they stray to Bucky next to me. Excuse me for a second, boys. Bucky hops towards Ryan, pulling him aside and leaving me alone with the rat guy. I drop down and sit next to him. Yeah, I know what you mean. A lot of these guys can be... a lot. I kinda got the vibe. I thought some of the fighters down here would be different than the ones topside. Nope, assholes all the way down. Heh, damn. My old gym was full of them, was kind of hoping that it changed once I hit the big leagues. But so far, it's been more of the same. Every guy likes to think that they're top of the world, I guess. Well, we're like 1,000 feet underground, so we've got a ways to go. He chuckles at that. What happened to you? Bucky said something about a doctor's orders? Ah, yeah, you see the fight the other day? Be more specific. With Bruce? Big T-Rex guy? Ah, the big guy. Dude, the whole room popped off when he crushed your chest. That's disheartening to know. I think he can tell that I'm not too pleased about that. Hey, I didn't cheer. Just, everyone else. He laughs a little uncomfortably. But, yeah. Thanks for all the help today. You seem approachable, way better than the rest of these guys. And that stupid cooch hat probably helped. I'm gonna throw that thing through a fucking wood chipper. Over my dead tail! Bucky hops back over, seemingly more stern than before. You alright, guys? Can I see the hat? Absolutely not. He ruffles my hair. I can feel my face turn hot for a second. Well, The rat guy stands back up, wincing as his bruised abs bend and flex. I should probably head out. Shower off all the fun stuff. Catch you guys tomorrow. Bucky waves him off and the gym space feels quiet, save for the amount of guys screwing around in the hallway. How'd you like your first time coaching, Zander? Was it everything you dreamed of? I've helped coach classes before, topside. Right, before this time, you gotta wear a hat. And I almost got in a fight. Ah, right. That also happened, huh? You doing alright? I shrug. Not the first time down here that someone's trying to intimidate me. Ah, yeah. But Ryan can't push you around as easy as Bruce did in the cafeteria, eh? I glare at him. I didn't tell him about the cafeteria. Redline told me. Sounds like Bruce owes you a new smoothie. I feel like that's pretty low on my wish list right now. Ah, well, hopefully you can teach him a lesson one of these days. Just like how you taught Ryan a lesson? Bucky sighs and drops down, sitting next to me with our backs up against the countertop. I just don't know how to make these things stick, man. I swear every coach down here have to have a talk with him about how aggressive he gets with the rest of the fighters, even outside the ring. But he goes off spouting some bullshit about manliness, like shoving dudes around and picking fights is supposed to make you a better person. I don't get it, Zander. These guys are so talented. They've got great physicality and determination. But there's this brain poison or something just infecting them, all of them. Like they have to be the strongest or the most aggressive, like some dumb alpha wolf bullshit. I'm sure you've seen it. Some of these guys get some messed up ideas of what we're down here to do. What, beat the shit out of each other? He pauses, then laughs a little. Well, okay, so that's not entirely... That's what they wrote on my contract, man. Just come down here and crack skulls. None of this being nice shit was in my job description. The kangaroo starts snickering under his breath. It's nice to see him smile. That's very true. I'll have to get you some bonus for being so nice and helping me out today. But you know what I mean, right? You see, half of these guys come down here just to make people bleed and feel their own ego. They don't care about the sportsmanship. They don't care about getting stronger. This is just an outlet for aggression. And you know, it spreads easily. A lot of these guys steal their personality from some asshole at the gym. It's like they think fighting is all about being manly and angry, and that defines them as a person. Whoever can punch the hardest is the better man. Think there's any way to fix it? Bucky lets out a sigh. No clue. But the least I can do is try my best. Give them some love, some positive reinforcement, set a good example. Help them, I don't know, channel their feelings into something productive. Like punching people. He chuckles a bit and tussles my hair. I was thinking about getting them to encourage and uplift their fellow man. The punching bit is just a part of the job. I'm glad that you've got someone like Red. Really? Pup's probably the nicest fighter down here. Not like that's a hard contest to win, but he's at least a breath of fresh air. Yeah, I guess. He scoffs. You guess? Eh? Or has he been shoving you around behind closed doors? Not at all. If anything, he's too friendly. Huh. Don't look a gift yin in the mouth, Zander. Just try not to be too hard on him, yeah? I'll do my best. Bucky's not wrong. I remember too well, both at the gym back home and just from some of the people that I know. Combat sports can feel like a breeding ground for shitty people sometimes. Aggressive, violent people get good at the sport for the wrong reasons. They train people up to be like them. The cycle continues. It's a mess. It's part of the reason why I try to keep my head down when I first got here. I know what these people are like. They're all like Bruce. Really. Big, dumb, insecure, egotistical meatheads. Okay, well, maybe that's not entirely true. Redline and Bucky have been kind enough, and some of his friends probably won't try to assault me yet. And some of the guys topside were alright, but they always started to stray towards the assholes, so it was really only a matter of time before they changed. I wonder if I could have changed any of that. Maybe I could have been more friendly. Of course, that would open me up to the assholes pushing me around more than they already did. Ugh, I had enough as it is. The commotion outside is getting a little louder. A lot of people are moving through the halls. Sounds like the cafeteria is gonna be packed. Has Bruce given you any more trouble? Since the fight, haven't seen him. Ah, good. If he ever does, you come to me. I won't have any of my boys getting pushed around. It'd be a bit better if I could push back. Bucky chuckles and ruffles my hair again. I shake it back to normal and stand up in hope of avoiding any further tussling. That's what you got me here. I'll push back for you. Outside the ring, that is. Whatever you say, coach. He stands up too, almost in a huff. Why are you saying it like that? You think I can't? I start making my way to the doorway. Yeah, looks like the cafeteria is as packed as ever. Even Bruce and some of his cronies are waiting in line. I don't know, his body's pretty rock hard. I've hit him more times than you, so I think I would know best. Bucky almost snorts at that, hopping up besides me. That's so. Oi, Bruce! After recovering from the deafening voice, I can see the dinosaur crane his neck towards us. Those eyes dart down to me, and his brow furrows. He starts to move closer. What are you doing? Proving a point. Come here, big guy. What? Zander here says that you're too tough to be hurt. I absolutely did not. Bruce rolls his eyes and smiles. You telling everyone how much stronger I am than you? You must think I'm pretty... Ugh! In the blink of an eye, Bucky's sucker punch was buried deep into Bruce's abs, folding the dinosaur over his fist at a sharp angle. What the hell, old man? And that, Zander, is proof that no one's impervious. Bruce stands upright, wincing a bit as Bucky's fist pulls out. I wasn't even flexing! So, you want another? Is that what I'm hearing? A second lightning-fast punch, and the air is strained through Bruce's gritted teeth. His muscles are tensed up, but from the sound of the impact alone, I can tell Bucky's punch hurt. You gonna start thinking twice about punching down outside the ring, champ? I could see a bead of sweat trickle down Bruce's head. He growls, and I can see his fists tighten. He glares at Bucky, then pauses, almost like he's reassessing. He turns to me, and his biceps tense. Bruce snorts some hot air out, and turns to the door. Yeah, right. I've got food to eat. I'll crush you in your coach later, pipsqueak. Bruce forces his way through the crowd to rejoin his group of friends, who are now much further ahead in line. One of them turns to ask him something, and he barks something in return. Bucky, on the other hand, has been laughing to himself. Don't let these guys shake you, Zander. Even Bruce is all bark. All bark and some bite. A lot of bite, yes. But now you know he's not invincible. Are you gonna get in the ring in my place? He massages his fist. Wish I could, but I could train you to get to that level. And all that talk about how bad it is to go around punching people to prove your dominance? I'm a coach. I gotta teach these guys lessons in humility if that's what they need. But he should stop picking on you from now on. And if he tries again, you come to me, got it? I guess I can let it slide if it'll keep Bruce humbled and out of my hair. Bucky tousles my hair again. I can't escape it. You gonna grab some food? Crowds aren't really my thing. I'll find some way to kill time till things die down. You could stick around. Always need some more help coaching. Will I have to... You will have to wear the hat, yes. Hard pass. Thanks for the offer, though. Anytime, bud. Rest up, yeah? We nod each other off, and I make my way down the hall. I suppose that's two people that I have to be on the lookout for now. Bruce and that Ryan guy. Though hopefully that talk he had with Bucky will keep him off my back. Ryan's also a lot closer to my size than Bruce is, so I could probably handle the situation in a worst-case scenario. I've had run-ins with guys like that when I was at my amateur circuit topside. Just keep my mouth shut and don't say anything that could start a fight. Anything that I have to say in response can be said after the fight is over, and winning those kinds of fights got me the promotion that I needed to get into Fang. That's not exactly a promotion in hindsight, but I guess anything to get me out of the dead-end rut. Even if this ended up being another dead-end rut. Ugh, I hate thinking about that. I've got to find something to distract me. I guess the only thing that's left is to talk to Drayden. I really was just tossed out of the frying pan and into the fryer. From one shitty situation into an actively dangerous one. And now I'm going to be down here for who knows how long. I passed by the gym I was walking in yesterday. Yesterday, everything felt so different just a day ago, even though so little has happened. I wonder if I'd feel any better if I hadn't talked to the commissioner. If I hadn't made that comment. If I hadn't even looked at head kick. My situation would still be the same, but I'd at least feel like I'd have some hope. My ribs hurt again and my breathing is getting heavier. I can feel my body getting hot. I want to punch something. I want to punch the commissioner or Bruce or, hell, whoever's in my way. I need to talk to someone before something happens and I hurt myself. On accident or on purpose. Whatever that was yesterday. Fuck it. I whip out the phone and call up Drayden. He gave me his number after my last fight with Bruce. It rings once and then he picks up. Hello, Zander. The sing-song inflection is contagious. Hey, doctor, are you free? Of course. Is everything alright? My ribs hurt. Not exactly a lie, but I think I just need someone to talk with. I don't think that you can get any more pain pills. No, I don't need any of that. Oh, good. Are you resting? I sigh. Look, can I just, come see you? There's a weird pause, but Drayden speaks. Of course, Zander. I'll be in the room that you had earlier. Cool, see you then. I hang up and make my way towards the med bay. Maybe he can help me. I don't know. Figure out a solution, or give me some sort of distraction from not being able to work out. Before I know it, I'm sitting up on the bed again, and Drayden's sitting across from me again. The feline smiles at me. A pleasure to see you again, Zander. What can I do for you? You said your ribs were acting up again? I fidget. Yeah, I was helping Bucky out, and it just started, Drayden frowns. I thought I said... I know. I wasn't exercising or anything, so you don't need to worry about that. You can even ask Bucky. He took care of me. The pain pulses again, This is getting annoying. Why can't I just say what I need? What do I need? I need to fight through this. I need to get out of this contract and I need to start doing what I came down here to do. But if I don't rest, my body won't be ready to train again. And if I'm not training, I can't win the fight. And if I can't win the fight, I'll end up getting hurt again and then sent back here and... Zander? I look up. Drayden looks a little more concerned than before. You spaced out. Yeah. He smiles. Bucky says you've been doing that a lot. I sigh and Drayden readjusts himself on the chair. What's going on, Zander? Fine. Everything's been bad since I got down here. I thought things were going to be easier. I thought once I got into the league that it would be like I was topside, but with less worry. I could just train and fight. No more dead-end job, no more money troubles, no more of my shitty apartment, no more... Just then, my phone buzzes violently in my pocket. I peek at the screen. No more of these stupid fucking calls. I toss the phone next to me onto the bed. Who's calling you? My dad. Ah, it's been a while since you've seen your family, but judging from your reaction just now, something tells me that you don't want to. Can I ask why you don't pick up? That's a bit of a heavy subject. Maybe I can help you carry it. I glare at him. He clicks his pen and smiles at me. You're not gonna make me do some weird psychohypnosis bullshit, are you? He pauses for a moment. I don't like how long it lasts. Not unless it's necessary. That was a joke. Drayden clears his throat. So, your father? Maybe this was a mistake. I close my eyes as I speak. Dad was... an asshole. I mean, he wasn't always bad. I remember growing up, he would take me out to ball games and fights. But none of that gay pro wrestling shit. But none of that, gay... We only ever went to watch MMA fights, and we would string fang fights back when he could get me to watch them with him. That sounds like fun. Did you enjoy it? I did. I think I did. I hear the cat write something down. It feels like I'm giving him too much information. Did something happen to change that? My dad, lost his job, back when I was just getting into high school. I have to pick your father up from the police station. He got in a fight with a coworker. They fired you over that? Good riddance. People like that should just keep it in the bedroom. And he just sort of sat around the house ever since. Complained a lot. Drank a lot. How old are you, Zander? 24. He scribbled something down. That must have been hard on your family. I shrug. Mom supported us, and with Dad on unemployment, we went from sort of broke to pretty broke. So money was tight from the start. Yeah, I mean, they always did their best, I think. I got a nice present or two for Christmas, and they paid for my boxing classes. Well, Dad used to. Said it was gonna make me into a real man. Drayden sort of snickers at that. Do you think it worked? Probably not in the way that they wanted. Did you like boxing, Zander? I did. I mean, I still do, but MMA just feels more natural to me. I'm a lot more flexible now than I was when I was younger. I can wrestle a lot better too, and it made me braver and... I don't want you near that coach anymore. You're doing MMA now. Dad never really did like my boxing coach. Why not? They had their differences. Your father just wants what's best for you. You're going to be fighting with real men, none of those queers in that other gym. If my son had ended up like him, I'd shoot him on the spot. The guys at Dad's new gym were intense. They went a lot harder than my friends at boxing. Get any knockouts? No, they hit me too hard, Dad. Just like every class, I don't feel good. Don't be such a pussy. It builds character. When I was a kid, you'd get your ass beat for even looking at a guy wrong. But it's fine. I turned 16 and got a job and moved out. Drayden goes quiet for a second, and I open my eyes to see him holding out a tissue. I hadn't realized the tears rolling down my face. I feel like we skipped over a bit of that. Why did you move out? I... Alex, your father and I found your phone. We saw some interesting things. Did you send these messages? What the fuck were you thinking? I can't do this. Stop. You see the way she's crying? This is your fault. I didn't. You're gonna get the fuck out of my house. Kenneth, please, at least let him... Get the fuck out, Alex. Zander. I open my eyes, and Drayden's holding the box of tissues out to me. Breathe. I'm crying harder than I thought I had. The doctor places a paw on my shoulder, holding me tenderly. I take the box and set it on the bed next to me. My breathing steadies after a moment. I snatch a tissue and blow my nose, crumpling it and dropping it next to the box. When I was 16, I moved out. My mom found I was gay and told Dad. Zander. I was planning on leaving anyway. It's fine. I'm fine. Are you? Yeah. I sniffle and wet my eyes with another tissue. Drayden makes a disapproving sound. I didn't have anything planned out yet. I didn't have a lot of friends to go to, so... Alex, what are you doing here? Can I stay with you? Of course. It's been a while. What's going on? I'm so sorry, Zander. Where did you end up staying? My old boxing coach, Vinny. He gave me a place to crash while I figured things out. The one your father didn't like? Yeah. I crumpled up my tissue. What kind of messages did they find? Just asking Vinny about gay stuff. How to know if I was gay, what I should even be doing, I don't know. I didn't know anything. I was scared and Vinny was the only adult that I knew that had any information about any of that. I shouldn't have been sending those messages in the first place. It was a stupid idea. I knew how my parents would have reacted. Does that give them justification for kicking you out? They didn't kick me out. I choose to move out. They didn't give you a choice. So I moved out on my own. And you're just okay with that? No. I don't know what I did wrong. They raised me right. They loved me when I was a kid. Why did that change? The tears followed the stream they formed down my cheeks. I wanted to fix myself. I wanted to stop. I wanted to be better for them. Zander, do you think that you could do anything that would make them happy? I shake my head. I don't know. Do you mind if I make some assumptions? My heavy breathing slows a bit before I shake my head. Drayden continues, his eyes narrowing. You never could be good enough for them, no matter what you did, or what you changed about yourself. It would never be enough. My head drops. I bent forward, holding myself up as I sob into my hands. Give up boxing and becoming straight. That might have made them happy, but that's not you. And nothing you do will ever be good enough for them. And if they can't bring themselves to be happy with you, that's their own fault. You're so young, Zander. You have so much of your life ahead of you, and it's time that you start doing things for your own happiness. You need to consider what's going to make you happy. It takes me a moment to catch my breath. He's right. I know he's right. I need him to be right, otherwise all of this anger that I've let sit inside of me for years will have been for nothing. I mean, for starters, I'd like to stop fighting Bruce. That'd make me pretty fucking stoked. The words feel like acid spilling out of my mouth, but Drayden laughs anyways. I mean, outside of all of this, clearly it's still hurting you. I don't know. I thought moving out would fix it. I thought it did fix it. But you're still afraid whenever he calls. Yeah. Why haven't you blocked his number yet? Phones can do that these days. I don't know. Do you think that you'll ever answer the call? I don't know. I'm sorry. He only smiles at me. I don't want you to apologize to me like that, Xander. You haven't done anything wrong. Yesterday I got mad at Redline. Ah, he mentioned that. Said that he doesn't know why, though. Are you comfortable sharing? The commissioner called me in earlier before that. I thought we were gonna talk about the contract or the fights. He just yelled at me about a comment that I made on Headkick. Drayden starts to ask a question, but I answer it for him. It's a social media site for us exercise types. He smiles and scribbles something down. I was trying to clarify something, but it kind of blew up, and I guess it broke my contract. I wanted to get my fights figured out. I can't keep fighting Bruce, but the commissioner, he just didn't listen. He just shut me down. I was trying to defend myself. I was just trying to stay alive down here. It feels like my body is forcing more tears at this point. I just let them trail down my face. I lost it. I don't remember anything after that. I don't know. Sometimes I get mad and I don't know what to do. Feels like I'm carrying 100 extra pounds underwater. I can't feel things. My body just drags itself and I lose control. Drayden writes something down, then looks back up at me. Does this sort of thing happen often, Xander? It... I guess so. It happened a lot more often when I lived with my parents. And since you came down here? Yeah, it did. In the cafeteria, Bruce shoved me and I just sort of spaced out. And Redline in the gym when he dropped me and all the other guys saw. Why do you think this happens? Where you lock up and can't feel things? I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say that it has something to do with my parents. Drayden giggles. Well, I'm not gonna say that's not the reason, but I think that there's more to the core issue. Sure, they might have contributed to the cause, but removing them isn't the whole cure. Even if a wound heals, lasting effects may endure. A person with a broken leg may suffer mobility issues for the rest of their life. So, because of things that I had no control over, I'm fucked for life? I'd rather we put a positive spin on things. Try seeing it as a chance to modify your behavior in certain circumstances. If someone's shoulder is damaged, then they have limited range of motion for a long time. Sure, it might suck a lot, but they can learn their limits and can control what they are able to do. So if you find yourself in a position where you can feel one of these, episodes coming on, we can try grounding yourself. I hope it doesn't happen, but if you find yourself getting frustrated, I want you to just touch something. Anything physical. Anything that can remind you that you are still here. Grounding can help you realign with reality. Focusing on something in your present moment can help turn your attention away from these intense negative emotions. Of course, you won't be ignoring them or pretending like they don't exist, but if you can control your mood, you can control your actions easier. And I want you to focus on your breathing. In and out. Very slowly. He gives you an example of how I am meant to breathe, and I mirror it. I'm still a little worked up from earlier, so my breaths are a little bit shaky. In and out. You're just a person breathing. That's all you need to be. And you are exactly who you are meant to be. You are doing the best you can. A few moments of breathing, after a while the shakiness subsides. I have control over my breathing and my heart rate has died down. How do you feel, Xander? His voice gently peels away the silence. I feel better. Good. I want to thank you for sharing all of this with me. I imagine it is not easy to think back on these memories. I try to ignore them. But it's important to learn from them. They're affecting your behavior, and it is much easier to make a positive change to your behavior if we're able to take a look at what may have caused them. Guess that makes sense. Wonderful. I think now's a good time to call it for a day, and I've got another meeting in a bit. Before you leave, is there anything that I can do for you? There is a lot that I want, but not anything that he can do about it. Feels good to finally have that off my chest, though. I don't think I've shared that with anyone besides Vinny. And why should I? No one should have to deal with that, and I don't want people treating me different because of it. Still, Drayden doesn't seem to be talking down to me. I don't think there is. What do I do now? Like right now, I suppose you could get some food or read a book or maybe. No, I mean like, what do I do when he calls again? Hmm, I'm not entirely sure. What do you want to do? Hmm, I'm still not sure either. Sorry. He shakes his head and stands up, moving closer to me. Drayden starts picking up the tissues that I've balled up and dropped on the mattress. I told you before, you don't need to apologize for things like that. These things can be complicated. All we can do is just try to piece things together. But I always think it's easier with a little help. Don't you agree? Yeah, I guess you might be right. I'll take that as a win for me. The two of us chuckle as we finish cleaning up. Drayden makes his way to another office and sees me off to the exit of the med bay. The rest of the day goes by without much of an issue. I didn't really see much of Redline either. Mostly spent it in the library. Don't really have much time for reading these days. But now that it is 2 in the morning, and I am absolutely restless, I figured that chat with Drayden would have drained me, but I must have recovered from that over the day. Something isn't sitting right with me. Just then my phone buzzes. It's a text from Drayden. Hey, Zander? Drayden here. I was thinking about our talk today. It must have been hard for you to open up like that. Why does he text like this? I know it must be hard to not be able to exercise down here, so I wanted to cut you some slack. You can go for walks on the treadmill or elliptical. Treadmill or elliptical. But nothing above a 4. We've got cameras and Red watching, so I'll know if you're lying. Take it easy on yourself, Zander. I'll talk to you later. A walk sounds ideal, if anything, just to clear my head. I wanted to walk around the immersion chamber, but it was booked solid all day. Ah well, I'll message back. Thank you, Doctor. You're up late. There's a second where I can see him typing, then he stops. Then some more, then it stops again. There's only a few episodes left. Yeah, I figured. He seems like this type. I'll leave you to your binge watching. I toss on a shirt and a pair of joggers, and I'm out the door. Weirdly enough, Redline still wasn't in bed. He must be out with friends. The hallways are unusually silent this time of night, which makes sense. A lot of these guys take their schedules very seriously. Parties only really happen when there's a big event coming up. Which means that the gyms are empty, thank God. I stroll right up to a treadmill and flick it on. There's no one here, but the place still reeks. At least now I don't have to deal with other people. I can go back to what I was doing just the other day before everything happened. It's hard to keep my excitement down. I have to remember to keep the treadmill at a low level, no running or anything. I could walk anywhere that I want down here, but I can never turn off my brain when I do that, not like I can on the treadmill. It's calming. No one to bother me. No one's going to call and deliver bad news. I don't have to worry about. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a movement of red through the window into the hallways. Bruce is strolling by. But his eyes flicker to me, and he stops. Jesus fucking Christ. I close my eyes and keep walking. There's no way that he's going to pick on me. He was probably just surprised to see someone awake at this hour. Why is he awake right now? Are dinosaurs nocturnal? No, that doesn't make sense. He was awake in the day every time that I've seen him. I can feel my heart beat faster. Just breathe, Zander. He's not doing anything. He's probably left already. My eyes open. He's turned towards me, looking at the entrance. What the fuck? Go away! Bruce moves to the door of the gym, then hesitates. His eyes dart to a different corner of the wall, almost like he's scanning the room. After a second, he takes a slow, heavy step. Then he starts to make his way to me. Slowly. I would call it intimidating, but something about the way that he moves is cautious, like he's walking on eggshells. Whatever, I have nothing to say to him, and if I tried, I'd end up with me getting hurt somehow, no doubt. I turn my head down and keep walking. This sucks. It almost feels like I'm bowing to him or something stupid. Those footsteps are getting closer. Hey, just keep your head down. Don't acknowledge him, and maybe he'll go away. About 30 seconds pass in complete silence with me pretending like he's not there. Bruce shifts on his feet. Hello? God, this is so fucking uncomfortable. I'm not supposed to be like this. I wish I could just tell him to fuck off. Another few seconds before Bruce grabs the front of the treadmill aggressively. Hey! His finger manages to slam down on the emergency stop button, and the treadmill slows to a halt nearly instantly, so fast in fact that I collide with the front console. I bounce off of it and stumble to the side only for the handrails to stop me at my ribs. The pain shudders up through my body and I grit my teeth. Fuck! What? Our eyes meet and Bruce immediately breaks his composure. That angry face falters and his hands release the treadmill console. The bare teeth retract. Bruce takes a step back. His eyes dart to the side, eyeing one corner of the room before returning to look at me. I also cock my head to the side slightly, just enough to see the wall that he was looking at. A small security camera in the top corner is pointed directly to this area of the gym. I turn back to Bruce, waiting for an explanation. His head is turned to the floor, eyes nervously shifting between that and me. The dinosaur lets out a sigh, and his voice dips down, quiet enough that I can barely hear it. I need your help. To be continued. I wonder what you need help with, huh, Bruce? Brucey boy? Thank you for reading the demo for Undefeated. This visual novel is a work in progress. Please follow Undefeated VN on Twitter for future updates. So I wonder what Bruce needs help with. I'm assuming that he also feels as trapped as Zander does in this whole contract, and that he probably has more experience with having to sort of ham it up, like for the audience and for the commissioner. But he probably doesn't feel good about it. And sort of with the whole where he broke Xander's ribs. I don't think that he did it on purpose. I think he might have accidentally stepped on him or applied too much pressure and then just, cracked the ribs. So aside from Zander, who is obviously in trouble with the commissioner, I'm pretty sure that Bruce is also in trouble for what he did. And yeah, so Fang itself is probably a corrupt organization. Or at the very least, part of it is. Because if the commissioner really cared about the organization, he probably wouldn't have left Zander to keep fighting Bruce. He would have made some effort to right that wrong. What else? This was a long update, obviously, so this is probably going to be separated into parts, so I'm just going to do a quick summary of the whole thing, because I had to read it all in one sitting. So, there's also Redline. My assumption is that Redline... obviously, the youngest child always... well, actually, no, it's usually the older child. Usually, the older childs are the one that gets sort of left by the wayside, but sometimes they also are the golden child, while the youngest one, especially in a huge family like Redline's, is usually just the, like, oh, you did something good? Okay, fine, yeah, sure. Well, we're gonna go to your brother's graduation from university or whatever like that. So, being also the mama's boy, he probably got picked on a lot. He probably didn't have that many friends growing up either, so... like, that probably explains why he's so friendly and stuff, and why he was so quick to just sort of be friends with Zander, or try to be friends with him, but, obviously Zander has his own issues, so he automatically saw Redline's behavior as sort of weird and fishy and suspicious, instead of seeing him as just some friendly guy that, just wants to be his friend. or who wants to cheer him up by playing a fighting game, but obviously that didn't work out. Zander, you could have been nicer to your roommate. He's a yeen. Yeeny beanie. But yeah. What else? Hopefully they do make up later on, that Zander can at least apologize for his behavior. But yeah. What else? I'm wondering if... Well, there's also Bruce. Probably everyone that works for Fang knows that the commissioner would probably never agree to change, the circumstances of the fights and stuff like that. So the only thing that they can do is basically prepare Zander to fight and hopefully win and, break out of the contract. Because I'm assuming as soon as he wins, you would automatically just, never have to fight Bruce again. But knowing the commissioner, he probably would set up the fight all over again because, it's obvious that he's rigging this. So either it's probably like a betting thing where it's like, oh, you have to set this guy up with Bruce and keep fighting in order to make money on bets and stuff like that, or something like that. So because of how this organization is run, it's probably there's probably nothing that Drayden or Xander's coach can do, about this. So yeah, even trying to sue, apparently that would, probably not end in a win for you, or the commissioner would probably drown you in, not a law battle, in a court case forever and ever, and you would probably run out of money before he does. But yeah, well, anyways, so write down in the comments what you think is happening or how this story will unfold. And yeah, and we'll discuss it there then. And thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Undefeated yourself, you can find it over on itch. And, god damn it, it's been so long, so I don't really remember if they have anything or anywhere to support them. So if they do, I will link that down in the description as well. And I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.